Hey everybody, welcome back. Me and Stacey have a cool side hustle for you today. Jimmy Warhorse reached out and sent me an email on one of his side hustles. That's the first thing we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about some of these stocks that I talk about. Me and my friends, we talk about, we promote stocks. People reach out and ask us to advertise their mining stock, which I do hold most of them. I'll get into that towards the end of this video, but check out this email that I got from Jimmy Warhorse. He said he worked second shift for many years, and him and his wife used to take care of, they take care of their parents on the other side of town. So while they're going over there, it was about midnight, and they noticed some people digging around in the dumpster, in the trash cans. You know, they were scrapping. They were finding old copper pipe and stuff. You know, you've seen people do that. My helper does it a lot, and I keep scrapping the back mainly to build with, but I don't just throw it away. It's in the...
Yes, he does. He has a lot of scrap in the backyard.
Well, in the Weimar hyperinflation, metal was considered gold.
Yeah.
I mean, the price of that stuff's going to keep going up, I think.
I can't complain, though, because I ask him to build me stuff all the time, so I can't complain about the scrap
and I'll throw
pile.
a picture of something I built just yesterday.
Actually, you
freeze
built my
dryer.
desk. I
My
work
desk.
on every day out of scrap.
And most of it's out of scrap, just stuff
Yeah.
I keep. What would you call that?
It's a
Cart?
its a cart stand. It's on
it keeps
wheels.
all your stuff together, and
It has the dehydrator underneath.
dehydrator underneath. It's got a pump, the oil pump on
it's
top,
too
a
cool.
way to drain the oil into your filter. I mean, I really thought it out. That way I didn't have to mess with it. I just want to, if you're going to use something, I feel like it should be easy.
Yep.
But anyway,
All right.
let's keep on
Be
going.
diverse.
So he was always looking for an extra side hustle. And on his way home, he went by McDonald's. And the lady gave him change, a couple quarters and 15 pennies. Well, within those 15 pennies, he found some pre-1981 copper pennies. So his mind started clicking. This is where it gets really interesting. He writes in here, how could a working stiff like me find copper in quantity? Because he's busy taking care of his parents. He's busy, going to work, working
Life.
second shift. So his mechanical brain went to work. I loved this. He would come up with a machine that would sort pennies. And he thought of a Coke machine. You drop a Canadian quarter in a Coke machine, it spits it back out. It knows the difference. So he went on eBay and he purchased the part of the pop machine that does that, and he also purchased a coin tumbler like that's inside a Vegas slot machine. He put them together, and the Warhorse money laundering machine was born. This is cool. All right, so, and this is legal money laundering. Why don't you read the rest of it?
No, it's great. And I actually talked to Jimmy Warhorse the other day, and this is an awesome story. So then he started going to his local banks, and he would order $2,000 in rolled pennies once a week, and he would split the plastics open, throw them in the tumbler, and he'd have two buckets underneath. One was for the stuff that would come out be copper, one was for the stuff that was not copper, and he'd roll those back up, take them to another bank, deposit them, and then go to the next bank and write the check off of that bank. And he just kept doing it until I think finally the bank told him, he said,
yeah, read the story.
well, he said, I can't. He said, the machine was doing 180,000 pennies per hour. So he'd take the zinc pennies to the other bank and write the checks off of that account. And then he started placing sales. What would he say where he wrote the check off? I placed ads for $100 worth of pure copper pennies for sale. $100 in pennies weigh 69 pounds. So the UPS has a ship. They have the box that says it under 70 pounds. If it fits, it ships. I was selling $100 face value of pennies for as high as $172. We shipped 3 to 4 boxes per week for months. And we also sorted out the wheat pennies and sold them separately. Everything came to an end when I went to order 4,000 more pennies, and the manager said he could no longer supply me, and I was going to have to get a new source. He said, so it was fun while it lasted, until he can find a new source. Man, that's an incredible side hustle.
So it looks like he was making enough money for it to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the ROI is on that investment, because time is your most valuable, asset. But
he was thinking outside the box.
He was thinking outside the box. It's a ton of fun, and he was making money. I mean, legit. I mean, you could you could have scaled this thing somehow, you know? This is a prime example of somebody thinking outside the box, getting raw copper and selling it to investors that collect it. I love it. And you're just one of those ideas away from hitting something big. I've gone through several things. Right now I'm trying the rocket stove. I think that'll be something people are going to want to heat themselves.
Speaking of side hustles.
That's fun. That's why I like this idea so much.
I do. I love it. Speaking of side hustles, so since we mentioned the healthcare thing the other day about we were talking about unemployments and jobs that are coming up and down and stuff like that, I can't tell you the number of calls that I have had that you guys are actually realizing healthcare is an option and an opportunity to do a side hustle. Somebody even is they're purchasing homes, and one person's going to live on one side of the home, and they're the person that's going to be the elderly. They're going to rent out the other side of the home to either someone that's in the healthcare profession or a college student or something like that, so that they can help them take care of this person on this side.
That's a cool idea.
It is a
Let me
cool
know how
idea.
that works out.
Yeah, it's a really cool
We got to
idea.
figure out a way to take care of the elderly.
I agree.
Because it's going to get the situation that we're starting to get in is getting worse fast. I mean.
Yeah.
When society degrades,
Yep.
the elderly and the young really hurt worse than the people in the middle.
They do. The elderly are the
Unless
ones.
the people in the middle are taken care of.
Right. They do.
So
If you look in just what's going on in society, typically it's the kids that get hurt and it's the elderly that get hurt, and those are the two places that I think both of us are very passionate about. But
Yeah.
anyway, we have gotten a lot of calls on that. I love the ideas that you guys are giving us. It's actually made me start thinking about different things. I talked to an RN the other day. She said that it's making her think right now. She works, but she said, I'm thinking about maybe side hustles for her. And so it's ways to think outside the box. Just like we do with mining stocks. It's something, we went outside the box. And when you started mining stocks years and years ago.
Well, I'm doing mainly exploration companies. Nobody's really mining.
Well, okay.
They're tiny penny stocks.
Right. But we thought outside the box on that.
Sure, and that was, how long ago was that?
Oh, man, I can't even.
6-7 years ago?
It's been
probably?
a while. We were way ahead of the curve.
We're way ahead. I'm so early. I'm almost wrong, but it's just now starting to get exciting when we're kind of at the floor. So really, in reality, every one of these mining stocks that I've talked about, the people that have bought and have got a better deal than me. I own over 50. There's somebody on YouTube talking about people that are promoting stocks, and look at this ticker, and they're trying to, like, people are trying to sell it and they're not actually buying it. Well, I have over 50 of these stocks, but in reality, I'll be straight up honest with you. I have not bought every one of them simply because either I didn't have any money in the account at the time, or the stock had pumped and it was a little higher than what I'd like. Looking at the charts, there's many reasons why I don't do that. And as far as this person also said, announce how much you're buying. And I can't do that. I mean, I really wouldn't mind doing that, but the problem with that is somebody's going to do what I do.
Yeah.
So if I say, okay, I bought $500 of this, somebody that doesn't have $500 is going to buy it. And then I'm not going to be able to tell them when I sell it either. So but what I can do is say, hey, look at this. Use your own judgment.
Right.
I'm not a financial advisor. I stay away from that. But I can, put things in front of you guys.
Right.
Companies that I like and are looking at and that are on my roster 100% of the time. GLDG went up 60% the other day.
And we own
there's
that.
a lot of them that are starting to pop, and it's really exciting because we're at the floor for silver. There's 1 billion ounces this year.
Right.
The market cap is 22 or 23 billion. It's tiny. Why wouldn't you want to be invested in something like that?
Yeah,
Gold,
so
silver,
I
lithium,
agree.
resources, that kind of stuff. I'm going to be talking about them, and I think it's going to change people's lives in the future because I really do want to make 1 million people. I want to help 1 million people make $1 million. I want to be part of that.
I completely agree. And you guys call and ask me all the time, and I don't know what to tell you, except for he does his research, and you've got to do your own research. It's hard, like he said, I can't tell you exactly how much we purchased because we're not in the same position. And there have been times he's come running in the house and he's like, hey, I want to buy something. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I don't have any money in Ameritrade. And if you guys know, if you switch money to Ameritrade, it takes like 2 or 3 days to get there sometimes. And by then, the stocks run up or whatever. And so we've kind of maybe lost an opportunity.
Grandmother would say you have to move things around. She was all into mining. She was into, well, not mining, but commodities.
She was.
She was in the stock market constantly, and if she was here, she'd be talking about crypto with me. I bet.
I
could
bet
guarantee
she
you-
would.
I guarantee you she'd have a little bit anyway.
Yeah, she would. But one more note before we go, if we want to keep talking about that, you guys have also asked us. We were talking about because people say, "What do you guys do?" And we're not, like he said, we're not financial advisors. But we also recommend trying to get accredited. Remember we were talking about that. Become an accredited investor.
I've always wanted to be an accredited investor, and I was finally able to. Thank you, Stacey, for lining that out.
Hey,
And
we got it done.
We got it done, and because I know I'm going to have to be accredited to get some of these small penny stocks. I talked about a copper stock the other day,
Right.
And the company's only 2 or 3 months old.
Yep.
I mean, it's
Yep.
in America. Yes, it's Canadian owned, but it's an American copper company. American Copper is the name of the company, but you can't even buy it right now.
Well, some of this stuff you cannot buy unless you're an accredited investor. That's the only downside. Maybe.
And I haven't bought that one either.
No.
But
But
it's
heads
something
up.
I wanted to put on everybody's mind. You know, it's weird. People would say that kind of stuff.
No, but just also, I don't know how. I cannot get you an accredited investor. I cannot tell you how to do it. I had to learn myself. I had to call people and ask for advice. I had to find companies that would help me. So you're gonna have to do your own research on that. You're gonna have to make some phone calls. You're gonna have to find companies that'll help you. You'll have to fill out your own paperwork. I had to learn on that, but it's not that hard.
We're just not advisors.
No, we're not. We're not. But it's
I
not
say
that
that for
hard.
a reason.
You can do it.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I bought the mining stocks way too early.
Yeah.
If y'all had listened to me then, everybody'd be mad at me. That's why I can't do it.
Yeah. And one more thing also I want to say too is, hey, you wives out there, listen to what your husbands are saying and get on board. Help them.
So true.
Just and I'm not always perfect. There's been times I've questioned Chris. I've pushed back a little bit, but ask why. Why are you purchasing this? What is good about this company? And help them. Don't. Because I fought him on a few things, and I hate that, and we've had to learn.
It's okay. I'm the visionary, but she is. I wouldn't have any of it without you.
Well,
And
it's
it's
a team.
crazy. It's a I bring stuff up, and it's kind of like, whoa, how are we going to do this? Blah, blah, blah. But we work it out. We figure it out, and without you, I wouldn't be able to do it.
And
And I feel so sorry for the guys and the women that their men aren't on board. And,
Right. It's vice versa.
And vice versa. It's
Yeah.
like I would never. That would just be really tough.
It
So. You're an awesome helpmate.
No, so you too. But it's a little scary when they come to you and they say, "Hey, I want to put this much money into something," and you're like, "Whoa, what is that? What are you talking about?" Like these mining stocks that we're talking about, or even a side hustle like he's talking about. You're taking a risk. You're thinking outside the box. But just listen. And I'm glad I did on many of the things that we've been through, and we're still learning.
And try to stay open-minded and try to, instead of finding all the flaws in it
That's
right
me.
at the beginning. I wasn't going to say that, but
I admit it.
I start on this side and she starts on this
Yeah.
side, and if you kind of meet in the middle, you can kind of sort the bad ones out. She helps me sort away the bad ones, and because if you can get a good idea past her, it's a good idea.
And
But that's what people like me need. We need somebody to kind of, I need that rock to lean on.
Well, and also, but you got to have somebody on the other side too that will make you think outside the box, So anyway, that was just for a perspective from a wife's perspective when he's bringing ideas to me, and sometimes you go, whoa, what is that? Okay, that's a little scary. We're going to take this much money. Just think outside the box, and I'm learning to do that more and more. So, but anyway.
That's it. The mining stocks still look really cheap to me. I can't tell you when to buy or how much to buy. That's I would say speculate 1% would be, but I do more than that. That's why I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I can tell you this: I've got more in mining stocks than I do in physical.
No, almost, not quite, because I just did
a
the
lot of
books.
people think that's crazy, but I know I learned so much during the crypto market crash. I learned so much. I found out that people buy what's going up, period, full stop. And I know they're going to stimulate again. And I know that these resource companies are so underfunded. They're penny stocks. They're just waiting. They're just sitting there waiting, like the silver supply and all that stuff
Yep.
that we point out all the time.
Right.
We just know. I mean, nobody knows anything, but the probabilities are on gold and silver and other resources side to really go up in the future as everything else comes down, and I really believe that. So, guys, have an awesome, awesome day. We'll see you in the next one. Later.